Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Graveyard Drug Party Radio. My name is Miguel, and I have a very special guest today. His name is Marknormand. He's a comedian from New York City. He's been on TV shows like The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, Conan, on Joe Rogan Experience. He's been on many podcasts, many TV shows, and it's really just an honor, a privilege to have him on the show, to have him on this fucking shitty ass radio station. All thanks to the shutdown. But check him out. He's great. He has a podcast on Tuesdays called Tuesdays with Stories with his buddy. He pairs up with his buddy Joe List, also a comic. Great content. I strongly suggest you check it out. He also has a special out now on YouTube, so it's free. Check it out. It's called Out to Lunch. And he's got really good bangers and really good jokes. Check it out. This is the conversation I had with Mark Norman. Hello. 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 I see you, but I can't hear you. Oh. Hello. Check.
Hey.
Hey, what's going on, Mark?
A little hungover, a little gay.
Aren't we all, huh?
Oh, yeah. I'm in a casino in Unkinsville, Connecticut. Not bragging.
Shit, dude, that's what's up. But yeah, I did see your story last night. Was that a strip club?
Oh, yeah. No, that was the comedy club's lounge part. That was a mechanical bull, and we were pretty sloppy watching all the drunk, chunky ladies fall off the bull.
I did see that, man. Well, thanks again for being on the show. We're recording now, so fuck it. I thought might as well just fucking start there, why not?
Yeah, get it going, baby. So what's cooking with you?
Oh, dude, not much, man.
Where are you?
I'm in Sunnyvale, California.
Oh, I love Sunnyvale.
Dude, I totally fucking missed your set last time you were here. You were playing at the Roosters, and I was hanging out with the chick. I thought I was going to get the Punani, and I was like, I'm not going to go see Mark Norman, because, Mark Norman, girl, I tried, but, at the end of
you
the
did
night,
the right thing.
At the end of the night, it didn't work out, so I totally regretted it.
You should have come see. I would have fucked you.
Yeah, my buddy was there. He said it was great.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, we sold out a few. That I do well in that town. I love that club, so I'll come back.
Yeah, dude, for sure. I heard you got your car broken into.
Joe listed. Joe listed.
Oh, okay.
In San Jose, I think they're famous for the carjackings there. That's like your claim to fame.
Yeah, it's sadly, bro. But I think San Francisco is more that they don't give a fuck. They'll break into your car for a fucking chocolate bar, like fucking Dave Chappelle once said.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the meth heads. They want that meth money.
Yeah, exactly. They'll take anything, man. But dude, thanks again for being on the show. This is fucking cool. They say like don't meet your idols, but I feel like that's whack. Nobody, like, who said that? I feel like that's kind of like a weak perspective on things. It's like, are you afraid of the realism of like being disappointed? Because
right.
Because I think that everybody. I mean, there's assholes everywhere, and
sure,
your idols are people. So you're bound to find some fucking guy that you're like, or girl. Gotta stay 2020 friendly, sure. You're gonna find someone that's gonna be, probably not what you were expecting to. So I was like, dude, fuck it, dude, whatever, do it.
Yeah,
that's great. You're great. You're great. Fuck it. You're a great dude, man.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I've heard that don't meet your idols, but maybe if your idol's a cunt, pick a better idol. Also, I think they put people on pedestals. They go, oh, I love Bill Cosby. He's my hero. He's the best. Then you find out later he's drugging chicks, and you're like, shit, don't meet your idols. But like, maybe that shouldn't have been your idol.
Right. But speaking of idols, you met one of your idols, if not, you're probably the guy that you looked up to while growing up. not only that, but he also got to open for a couple of his shows, right? And I
Oh
think you know
yeah,
who I'm talking about.
sure.
I forget his name. What's his name?
It's actually Ralphie May. No, Jerry Seinfeld.
Jerry Seinfeld. Okay, I was wondering. I was testing. I was wondering if we were on the same page here. But yeah, I
Oh
mean, you
yeah.
got to meet this guy, and from what it seems like, you guys had a great time, and even got to hang out. He wasn't like a douchebag, you know. He was like, "Hey, cool, man. Let's hang out. That's fucking awesome."
He gets a bad rep because a lot of people are like, "Oh, he's such a dick and he's so mean and so blunt." But I'm like, yeah, he's like a normal guy, but you expect him to be, like Barney, like, "Hey, everybody, I'm famous and let's take a photo." But he doesn't. I don't want to take a photo, and he don't want to take a photo. But when he says he doesn't want one, people get really upset. So I don't
Right,
know. I think he's a great guy. It was actually shocking how normal he was. Like after the first hour of freaking out because he's such a legend,
right.
he's normal. He's just a Long Island guy who likes baseball and cars and comedy. And yeah, we just hung out, and it was. I had to kept reassuring myself like it's weird how this is so normal. It's like not that crazy. He's just a guy. He's wearing shoes and underwear and got a
Right.
boner. He's just a regular dude.
Have you seen that video uh of him? Like, I think he was like doing like an interview at some like red carpet, and then Kesha. Yeah, I don't know if you're familiar with
Oh,
Kesha.
I love that video.
Dude, that video was so cool. He was like, nope. Like, so anyway, for the people that don't know, Kesha approaches this legendary comic, and I mean, I didn't even recognize her, so I don't blame him for not knowing who she was. But she was asking like, "Hey, can we take a picture?" or something like that, right? And Jerry was like, no, I don't know you," or maybe she was asking for a
Yeah.
hug. What was it?
She was asking for a hug, and he didn't want to. He's not a huggy guy, and she was like, "No, just a little hug." He's like, "No, no," and then she was like, kind of upset about it, and kind of
Right,
ran off crying. But he didn't want to hug you. Didn't want to hug you. Like he
right,
didn't give you consent. That's
right.
kind of a double standard,
Hey,
If
there you
a
go.
woman's like, "Don't touch me," you're like,
Right,
"Okay, sorry," but for her, she was like, "No, no, a little one." He's like, "No," and I
right.
thought it was great. I
Dude,
loved it.
that's an interesting point you mentioned there. It's like the consent part of it, you know. It's a very very popular subject nowadays. Not only that, but I think she approached while he was like giving a interview of some sort.
Yeah,
That's a little
right. A little rude.
disrespectful. Right, right.
Yes, completely. So I'm with you, and if you don't want to hug somebody, you shouldn't have to hug them, and that's one of the perks of COVID. If you're not a touchy guy,
You're
you can
good.
blame it on the virus.
Dude, it's all good for those introverts, huh? Like you get to cover
Oh
your
yeah,
face, you get to cover, you know, I've done it myself when I go grocery shopping. I do the whole mask and glasses thing, and I'm like, dude, I feel like an invisible man. I'm just walking through aisles, minding my own business. I know nobody's gonna approach me. I'm feeling great.
yeah, yeah. Same here. I love it. You don't have to do the stop and chat. I get yelled at on the street sometimes, like Norman, praise Allah, which is fun, but sometimes when you're in a grocery store with them, it's a little tight quarters. So you're like, oh hey, and you're kind of stuck. But now I got the glasses, the mask on. It's great, and with the herpes, I can't see the blister.
You get that in New York though? I feel like I've heard like
Herpes?
no, I mean like people approaching you like, "Hey, Mark Norman," because I think
Oh yeah,
New York has that reputation of like, dude, we're too cool. Like if we see you, you're a celebrity, we ain't gonna say shit because it's not a New Yorker thing. Like we mind our own business and shit like that. They're like uh slightly kind of removed from the whole California Hollywood, like, oh my god, look, it's Britney Spears or whatever.
right.
But is
No,
you
we
still get
still
that?
do it.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I love a good like cross the street, like, hey, what's up, fatty? And you're like, hey, and they go comedy, and you go, yeah, yeah.
That's
But
right.
sometimes the people who like you, I hate to say the word fans, but sometimes these people who like you, they want to chat and they want you to chat. So they'll go, hey, what's shaking, man? And you're like, well, you're the one who wants to talk to me. You figure out where we're going with this convo. I don't want to do the work. I don't
You
want to go, where are you from? What do you
right,
do?
right. You
You
say
do it.
something interesting.
Yeah.
Why should I stop and fucking talk to you?
Right, and nothing against them. I love that they're into the work and all that, but I got nothing to say to anybody.
You got a
I'm
life.
gay.
You got places to go. And I think if you're in New
Yeah,
York and walking, you're going somewhere.
right. And I'll talk to anybody, but you got to come up with the conversations piece. Like I don't want to have to like dig for it.
Right. Um, dude, I'm gonna get into my first like thing that I wanted to talk to you, just because, dude, I didn't know Zoom actually had a time limit.
this is my first like Zoom interview. I usually do it through like Google, like I'll phone people. So
I didn't know that either.
yeah, for like well, you and Joe List, for the people that are not that don't are not familiar with Mark Norman. He has a great fucking podcast on Tuesdays called Tuesdays with Stories. So check that shit out. Him and his buddy Joe Liz do a great fucking combo, do a great job queefing and jizzing it all over the place. So please check it out. But you guys do it like an hour.
Yeah.
And that's on the trial of Zoom? That's a trial one, not the one that you have to pay for?
No, I think Shelbo, our producer dweeb, he's got the whole thing set up, and he does. He sends us a link, and we click it, and we do our show. We say horrible words. He deletes them, and that's it.
That's the type of that's like the side of the business you guys don't really like ask questions about. He fucking takes care of it because I'm sure he probably pays for that. It's probably coming out of
I
pocket.
guess. I think the Tuesdays account pays for all that. So who knows? But I should probably figure all that out because it is our podcast. But that's why we pay the little guy, because we don't want to figure out any technical stuff. And he's a cute pipsqueak, and he knocks it all out, and we don't have to see behind the curtain.
That's what's up. But let's get into that BMW talk, man. You have finally, or not finally, but you have recently joined the BMW squad, man. And not just any ordinary BMW, guys. This is a fucking I think it's the BMW that made BMW what it is today. It's
That's right.
It's a boxy looking car. It's cute, but it looks mean too, you know? And like and it's got this like personality. It's almost like a charming thing and like to look at visually. And I think from my point of view, just looking at that, it just makes me I don't know, it's this weird relationship between man and machine that I've always had. And it's like when I see that car, I feel love. Like I feel this is my car. So tell us, you just got a BMW. What year is it?
It's a 1973 BMW 2002, which I think is one of their coolest looking cars. It's slick, but it's boxy, but it's curvy, but it's cute, but it's got pep. It's just a little bit of everything, and that's why I love it. It's so small. I love small cars.
Yep.
And it's got zip. You can run it around a track. It's so small that it can turn on a dime, and I got the roundy headlight or tail lights, and I just always loved that car. The corners are beautiful, the lines are beautiful, the grill is great, and the glass on the window wraps around. I got the kick out windows on the front of the door there. Like it's just a piece of art, and I got a custom steering wheel on that puppy, and I just love it. It's an honor to drive it. It feels so good, and I'm way over my head here, but I figure I've always wanted one. I searched online for literally months and months and months. Then I got into a bidding war with a guy at 4 a.m. with the whole thing. But I got it, and now it's sitting in a garage in New York, and I can't wait to get home and play with it.
Yeah, I feel it's like a toy, and I love that you mentioned the windshield because it is like a signature look to it. It's like it's curvy, and you don't see that very much with modern cars. I love the fact that that you have one too. Like I told you, I have one, and it's like, dude, it's so fucking awesome. Because actually, you inspired me to get a moped, so I got a moped. I got like I got like a Chow 79. We imported from Italy. So I mean, I didn't import it myself, but it was here already, somewhere in San Francisco, and I went to go pick that one up. But it's cool. It's cool, man. It's like it's nice that you have one of those cars, and it's kind of cool that you also got the ones with the round tail lights instead of the square ones. Because I don't really like the square ones. They have like a weird. I don't like them. I mean, I still appreciate the car, but I feel like they have more of a personality with those weird round ones. I like those better.
Yeah, you got to go round all day. I mean, the square, nothing against it. Those are the more common one, but the roundy, it's like if you're gonna buy one and own one, might as well go with the special fun one.
Yeah, definitely. And is your car turbo? Is it like the TII or just the standard?
I wish it was TII. All the car nuts make fun of me. They're like, "Oh, you got to get the TII." I'm like, "I know, but I got a roundy. It's a 73. It's a beautiful color. I can't complain." But hey, perfect anal. I'd get a TII.
I hear they're not like that great, actually. The TII.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was talking to a buddy, a mechanic of one of my friends, because I'm joined with this whole community here in the Bay Area. We meet up like maybe once a month, coffee and what is it? Coffee and no, it's like Cars and Coffee. Sorry, Cars and Coffee.
Ah.
So we all meet up. Everybody brings their BMWs, their O2s, and like any other like M3s or whatever they have. And we all meet up. Sometimes we grill out like in the San Francisco area and just chill, talk about cars. And yeah, but my buddy says like, dude, you don't really want a TII. Like you have a nice car. Like, let me tell you something. You'll never get a fucking speeding ticket with it. Like, that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean they go like, I mean I think after like 60, you're like pushing it a little too much, but it'll go. But it's it's a nice car. It won't go fast, and it's got the personality. It's like a charming personality. I think you guys do a good duet. You guys pair up really well.
Oh, thank you. I just love that car. It's like you said, it's charming. It's got pep and it's got some spunk, but it's also goddamn adorable.
Yep. And it's speaking of which, that car, like I think I texted you this and I told you, this car is like, it'll keep you funny because it's got weird noises all over under the chassis, like weird shit you'll hear, and it's this like constant like you're conscious of it. This car, maybe it'll break down someday. Fuck, I don't know. I might be, and it'll be the days that you're fucking rushing somewhere, like fuck, it broke down. Not to jinx you or anything, but you have this conscious understanding that it's an old car. You got to take care of it. It's delicate.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know, like an old Cougar. Just it'll take the punches, but it's like you gotta be careful.
I know. I'm nervous because I know that day is coming.
The reason why I bring this up that'll keep you funny is because not a while ago I was watching this. Are you familiar with Actors Roundtable?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's a YouTube channel where they have like multiple actors, famous actors, and they just have conversations, right? So I saw this one with Jamie Foxx, Adam Sandler, Shia LaBeouf, and Tom Hanks, and others. And the cool thing that Jamie Foxx was saying is he was saying, I went to Eddie Murphy's house and he wanted to get back into comedy. And I said, hey, dude, I can help you. But the first thing you got to do is fix up your house. He's like, it's too nice. And yeah. And he's like, Jamie Foxx was saying, in my house, I have shit that doesn't work on purpose to keep me funny. He's like, I got this faucet that opens and it fucking squirts out. Like, these are like by design almost. Like that shit will keep me funny because he's like, oh, and it's like his daughters tell him like, Dad, can we get this shit fixed already? He's like, nah, I feel like if I fix it, I won't be funny. So I don't know if you can relate to that. Like, I mean, it kind of makes sense to me. I'm not a comic. I tried it once. I bombed. It sucked. But I think I get a good understanding of why he might want that.
I get it too. I mean, I think there's some truth to that. I mean, it's also a little mumbo jumbo, but I think there's some truth. A lot of comics like, I don't want to go to therapy. Then if I cure myself of my anxiety, I won't be funny. But now it's all, if you're funny, you're funny. It's in there, But
oh, sure, yeah. Well,
I think there's something to there's something to that because I have this weird thing in my life where I sometimes I'll cause problems just to see if I can handle it, to see if I can fix it. So this car is a huge dent in my life. It's a huge mistake. Let's be honest. I mean, I feel like I have a kid and I can't take care of it, and I'm in way over my head, and this kid's crying, and I don't have a diaper. I don't know how to feed it, but I feel like this will make me do it. And I think you need things in life like that. If your life is too comfortable, you're going to be lazier. You're going to be less fulfilled. You're going to be less ambitious. So I think this car is my new, like, all right, let's see if I can pull this one off. I did that with comedy. Oh, let's move to New York with no money and see if I can pull it off. I mean, it took 10 years, but I did it. And this car might take 10 years, but I'm going to do it. And then it's going to be hell. It's going to be a lot of bad nights, a lot of money draining. But eventually I will have this pristine, cherry, mint, restored hot rod, baby. So I think that's where I'm at.
That's awesome.
I think that's a good thing to do in life. Just fucking buy a piano and just go, well, I got this piano in my living room. I got to learn it. I got to tickle those ivories, baby.
So you got to like...
you can't stay stagnant is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I like that approach. It's like you got to dip in the water, and it's either sink or swim. You just got to figure it out as you go.
Yes.
Not only that, but I think
Here,
it's
here.
spices things up a bit. Also,
Yeah.
a nice little challenge. It'll make you better.
Yeah, I mean, that's why New York comics tend to be funnier than LA comics. I mean, we live with this hobos up our ass. We're on the subway. We're
Shots
running down
fired.
the stairs trying to get a cab. Yeah, I mean, LA it's too much comfort is not good for the hamster in the wheel inside you. You know, you got to have a little discomfort and fight against it, and that's what keeps you strong. It's like an immune system. You got to get a little sick to fight it.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Speaking of
Ah.
New York comedy, I've been hearing a lot from that side, like Andrew Schultz and now Joey Diaz. I think he's in Brooklyn now. That
Yeah.
Bill Burr is the new GOAT. What do you think? Is Bill Burr the new GOAT? And why?
Who?
Bill Burr?
Oh, Bill Burr. I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
Bill
yeah.
Murray. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Did I say Murray?
I don't know. I heard an M.
I'm a little drunk, so maybe I did. But
Uh-huh.
have you seen did you catch the Saturday Night Live monologue?
I did, and I loved it.
You did?
Oh yeah, I mean, I had a few qualms with some of the jokes. I'm like, the John Wayne thing that was like 3 years ago, so I'm kind of like,
Sure.
And I heard a lot of jokes about that, but most of it I loved. I thought it was really good takes. I thought he pushed the line a little bit, which is so rare now in comedy, especially on TV.
Especially
And it more just made me angry about how bad the crowd received him. I love the set. I love that he went for it. I love the balls. I love the material, but I hate that the crowd was so squeamish and clammed up, because I'm like, are we that soft on a comedy show?
Right.
This is a show for comics. This is a comedy show, and the audience is still like, oh God, what is this comedy stuff he's doing? Right. He's doing jokes on a comedy show. I mean, this show started with George Carlin. He was the first guest host. I mean, it used to be not for primetime players. It was at late at night. It had some edge. It was fun. And now it's just become this like weird political leaning, gotta kind of walk the line. You're allowed to shit on this, but not on that. And I hate that. And I love that he came in and fucking fucked it all up.
Yeah, right. I've always kind of considered SNL to be like comedy for guppies. Not to like put anybody down, but I feel like, I mean, they always stay within boundaries. They always want to keep it safe, which I understand, because it's a TV show. They don't want to like have anything too fucking out there. But I feel like he did a decent job, and like not a decent job. What the fuck? I couldn't do that. And it's all like new jokes. It's new material, and it seemed like you've been working for a while. Like that. I think to me, it was nice to see an actual kind of comedy stand up with actual real people.
Yeah.
And for a very long time. I mean, I know you've done it, but you kind of show snippets of it here and there on your YouTube channel. But it was like a whole, like, 7 minutes full of just like, jokes. And it was great to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's the best. I mean, also you got to realize he's working that material out. This is SNL. That's a huge get for a comedian. That's like one of those, mountaintop dream gigs, not many comics have done it. And he had to run that monologue on like COVID shows. I'm talking outdoors, on a roof, in a field, on a sidewalk, behind a plexiglass. So like, also when you factor that in, it's also even more impressive.
Right. Dude, and it's cool you mentioned that. Would you ever, like, let's say you get an offer to host Saturday Night Live, would you do it? Or would it be like, fuck, am I ready for this type of like big thing?
Of course. I mean,
you would do it.
I don't know if I'm ready. I'm definitely not at Bill Burr's level or Louis C.K.'s level or Chris Rock's level.
That's fucking nonsense.
Well, I mean, those guys are 40 years in or whatever it is, 35.
Sure, you're still great though. You can pull it off.
I got a long way to go. I mean, I'm on YouTube for Christ's sake.
That's
I'm
good.
Doing this Zoom.
That's good, because it'll keep you pushing. So that's good that you think that. Like,
yeah, but of course I would do it. I mean, I would be honored to do it, but it is annoying how pampered everything is now. That's my whole beef. It's just like, oh, we can't make jokes. I mean, I get if he's making jokes on The View about white women, then you're like, all right, you pushed it there. I mean, it's not even a comedy show. This is a comedy show. Why is everyone so nervous about material? It's
right.
We live in this weird world. I mean, that kind of shows that like people don't like the truth and they don't like honesty, and we can't handle anything raw now. It's a bummer.
It is, man. It is. But yeah, I heard that he was like the GOAT of like fucking New York. I wanted to get your perspective on that. What do you think? You think he's the GOAT, or are they just saying this because he's he's the only comic right now, kind of actually going out there and having like the opportunity to do this like 7-minute stand up with real people, it's uncut, it's TV. Like what's that like GOAT thing? I don't get it.
I think right now he is the GOAT. I think everybody talks about Chappelle, and look, Chappelle's amazing. Chappelle's on another level, but Bill Burr will always go for the joke. Even Chappelle sometimes gets a little preachy or a little bit like, hey, we need to make some changes. Right. I got some political stuff I want to talk about. But right. Bill Burr, it's always the joke. It's never preachy. He will never lecture you or anything like that on stage. And I think that's more of a comic to me. I think Chappelle might be a funnier guy all around, but I prefer Bill Burr just going at it, hitting it hard, not taking any prisoners, saying what he wants to say, and it's always a joke. I like the joke guy. We're comedians. It says comedy club on the wall, like don't go up there and talk about your views on trans rights unless it's a joke. It's got to be a joke.
Well, yeah.
You can talk about anything you want. It's got to be a joke. And I think Bill Burr does that better, in my opinion.
Oh, for sure. Look, I'm a huge fan of Dave, but I was kind of disappointed. He did a monologue there few years ago, I don't know, but he was like kind of giving Trump a chance, and he was kind of like got more serious than like being funny. And I'm like, bro, come on, like
I know.
Not to be bluntly honest or like kind of just not bluntly like I don't know, but I mean, dude, you're black. Fuck, come on, give me some jokes for the black community. Like they don't want you to give them a chance. What the fuck? Right. I was like, and if you do, that's fine, but make it a joke. But he got too serious.
Make it a joke.
He was too serious. I'm like, guys, like, I don't know, like, let's just give him a chance. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'll give him a chance. What, bro? Make fun of the bastard. You have a spotlight, but I get it.
I get it. It was a weird time. He had to say he was trying to kind of bring us together, and I get it. And that's all special. And he's like an oracle. He's a whole other thing, sure, Dave Chappelle. But I like the joke. I mean, how great would it have been if he was like, give him a chance, assassinate him or whatever, just some kind of term where he got us all reeled in with the emotional shit, and then he nailed it with a zinger at the end. That would have been great. But I get it. It's a weird time, and stuff's happening, and it needs to be addressed, blah blah blah.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I just think a comic always has to keep it real, has to keep it honest, or else the truth is funny. That's the whole point, is comics say shit you're not really allowed to say, and as long as it's funny, you should get away with it. And I think that's why I like Burr.
Louder for the people in the back, Norman. Like that's exactly what it is. I feel like I joke around a lot with my crew of like my gang of friends, but I don't feel like they get my comedy. Like we'll be texting, I'll be saying like just some random shit that I think it's funny, and it's not meant to be personal or anything or attacking any specific group. It's just like just appreciate the comedy. Like, I don't know.
Here.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and they shut me down sometimes, and they might be listening to this thinking like, fuck, you're too much out there. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm just trying to have fun with words. Like, it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's nothing personal. It's just words. And if words offend you, my God, dude, like, reevaluate yourself. Like, I think there might be something wrong with you.
Right. And just remember, we're on Earth for just a little blip. It's going to be all over. And you're going to look back and go, man, I was really burned a lot of calories on all those jokes that people told. I got really upset. Like, that's so meaningless. It's so – and look, I've been offended by jokes. It happens. We're all sensitive. We're all insecure. But it's just you got to prioritize. If a joke is the biggest problem in your life, that means things are going pretty fucking well. That's why black crowds are such great audiences. They got real problems. So they're like, oh, you made a joke about my diabetes? I don't give a fuck. I got diabetes. That's way worse than the joke.
Yeah, and I think it's different the way I grew up. My upbringing is definitely different from my friends. I mean, I think I'm the only Mexican guy in my group. They're all whites and Asian, Indian, whatever. It's a mix of a really diverse group, which I love. But I think I'm only the real Mexican one. My parents were illegal immigrants here. And I think that the culture behind Mexican culture is like, they'll always make fun of you. Like, even if you're successful, like, nah, but fucking like, why don't you go wipe your ass instead, bro? You don't even know how to wipe your ass. Like, and it's like, it translates weird into English. and I think it might be like maybe like a language barrier thing there. But my parents always roasted me though. My parents always roasted me in the dinner table, anywhere. My dad, my mom, my little sisters, my older sisters, like it was always like, I'm gonna pick on you, you fucking deal with it. And we just laugh. At the end of the day, it's like family, we're laughing. I get you. You love me. But dude, sometimes you gotta find like ways to have fun with words. And if you don't, then fuck, dude, you're kind of boring.
Right. And the ribbing is love. It's a weird way to show love. It's like when somebody kind of punches you in the shoulder. On paper it's violence, but it's love. It's a way to show affection.
Yep.
And I think here's the thing about comedy is like comedy is just called comedy, stand-up comedy. You go into a comedy club, you kind of don't know what you're going to get. It could be clean, it could be filthy, it could be preachy, it could be black, it could be political, whatever it is. And people just go into a club, and it's the rare time in America now, which not everything is curated. Like you go to a restaurant, you're like, I want gluten-free, I want no meat, I want a cage-free, free range, whatever it is. On Tinder, you're like, I want her this tall, I want her this fat, I want her this skinny, I want her this blonde. Everything is curated now. Even TV, you're like, you go to your Netflix homepage, it's going to look a lot different than my homepage because it's all for you. And you have your profile, your page, your network. Everything is you. And then when you go into a comedy club and you hear something you weren't expecting, you're like, whoa, I didn't pick that. And you're like, yeah, but that's how it is. This is live comedy. You're going to might get something new. And they go, oh, fuck that. Call the police. So I get it. It's jarring for people to hear something they're not ready for because their whole world has been chosen.
Yeah. Speaking of like chosen things like that, I think Shafir had a weird experiment where he would only YouTube puppies, and for the longest time, YouTube would only recommend him puppies, like on YouTube. So it's all like that weird interconnection with technology, because I think technology plays a huge role. That if depending on your personality and what you look up to or what you look up online, it'll keep feeding that same perspective on things. So it's a little toxic thing where like, if you think a certain way, you'll want to choose a certain type of comedy, a certain type of TV shows, a certain type of even music maybe. And the thing, like you said, it's like curated to your own taste. So your iPhone knows you better than probably your mom does, like in terms of what you like. So I'm just saying it's a vicious cycle of if this is how you are, you'll always keep getting that. There's no being open-minded to different perspective when it comes to like hearing what your buddy has to say or what your other friends, because you're already so synced up into your phone that your phone already knows you too well. It'll keep you feeding that same perspective, and then you're fucking trapped. You're
trapped. You're in a bubble, and if anything comes in new, you're like, whoa, I didn't pick that. That's not me. And you're like, I know, but maybe you should listen to that because it's something new and different and another perspective.
Right.
And if we keep having the same perspective, when somebody different than you, there's a difference, you're gonna scream and get scared and freak out, and that's not the way it should be.
Yep, definitely, man. I hear you. Let's see. I think I have a few things here I wanted to talk to you. Oh yeah, I always wonder, man. Like in New York, do you guys hang out like together? Like, is there like a camaraderie there? Like, do you hang out with like the comics there, like Andrew Schultz? Do you guys kick it?
Like we used to more. I mean, COVID fucked everything up, but we used to. The beauty of comedy is like you're sitting at a club and then Schultz walks in, or Joe List walks in, or Tim Dillon walks in, or whoever walks in, Chris D, and you're like, oh, this is great. We're all hanging out, and then you sit there till 4 a.m. drinking Diet Cokes and beers and eating, French fries and talking shit and laughing. But COVID now, everybody's quarantined or doing their own shit or filming videos or doing podcasts. So the only time I hang out with my friends now is on a podcast.
Yeah. Is that weird? It's a little weird. That's got to be a little.
It's a little weird, but it's something. At least you get to hang out and laugh and, converse and see each other, but it's definitely weird.
Yeah, for sure, man. Hey, Mark, I'll let you go, man. Thanks a lot for being on the show. I'm going to wrap it up.
All right. Boy, that flew by.
That did fly by. Also, I'm just kind of scared that my session might be over and then I lose this shit.
Good point.
I'd love to come back to you some other time in the future and keep talking, man. I really appreciate your comedy. I think you're one of the best. I think you're one of the best. No. Take it as a compliment. It's okay. Stop being so humble, man. Just take it. Yeah, right. But I think your comedy is it's a very classic way of comedy. I think you're a classic comic.
Thanks.
You're everybody's comic, because I appreciate the fact that you're not really intertwined with the whole social media. You don't do a lot of that shit, but I think that keeps you cool. And I think if that's who you really are deep inside, do that. Because I know a lot of people like Andrew Schultz. That motherfucker is on another level, not precisely like better than you, but it's like he's just different, and that's okay.
Oh yeah,
People are gonna be different than you, but it's
he's
nice
a guru.
He's just different. But it's nice to have this contrast of comics where like you see fucking Andrew Schultz murdering on the social platforms, and then you're just like you're just pure comic. You're pure comedy. And I love it.
Thanks.
I love the fact. I might even go as far as saying you're the underdog of comedy right now. It's like people look back in maybe 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, maybe 100 years, like, yo, that motherfucker needed more of a platform. You're gonna go down as one of the best, but it's like those weird painters from the fucking 1800s, where it's like maybe they weren't appreciated back then, but now everybody, all the trendy bitches are like, oh, look at me. I can name a few, but I don't. Like, what is that guy that didn't have an ear? Like that is like, oh,
Van Gogh.
That's right. And it's like they appreciate him now, but back then he needed your fucking income. Like, he needed income. He needed to get money. He needed to be out there. So there's only a few Picassos, but that shouldn't let you. That shouldn't discourage you from and not just you, but like anybody. You never know what you're gonna get, and I think it's important to say that it's always about the thing that lasts, the thing that can stand the time.
Sure.
I don't know.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I can't take a compliment. I think you're going to run out of juice while you're blowing me, so I'm going to cut you off right there. But, yeah, thanks for having me. Praise Allah. You're a good egg, and I appreciate all the love. Thank you, sir.
No problem, man. Thank you for being here. And since this is a music podcast, I was wondering if you could share maybe like a song you've been listening to, or like a song that maybe you've always like had a thing with, like, oh, like this was always a good tune. If you don't, it's cool, but like if there's a song, let me know.
Well, I love anything by Van Morrison. He's like my favorite. I like the Talking Heads. I like what's his name, George Harrison. Okay. I like Paul Simon. I like dad rock. I like that moody shit.
What's the first band you mentioned? I know all of them except for the first one. Van
Morrison.
Van Morrison. Okay. What's a good track?
He's a guy. Check out Tupelo Honey.
Tupelo
it's
Honey.
Slow. It's heavy.
Okay.
Tupelo Honey. Tupelo.
Okay.
Honey.
I'll play it. And is there anything you want to say, Mark? Any last words on this podcast?
Just enjoy yourself. Take stock in the fact that you're alive and you're living and you're moving around and you're breathing air, and try not to get too bummed out. It's all a game. It's all a dance, and it's going to be over before you know it. So booze it up, live it up, queef it up, and yuck it up. Take care. Man. Comb your hair. Comedy.
Thanks a lot, Mark. You have a great fucking evening, bro.
You too, man.
Later, bro.
Bye.